Welcome. Welcome back to the Build Show. Saturday night edition. The snow is falling outside. Well, it's not right now, but it's been doing that all week. My life has been wake up, start the car, remove the snow from the car, get in the car, drive on top of the snow on top of the road, survive a half hour, think about running over other vehicles. Not the people in them, just the other vehicles. And then work 8 hours, go outside, scrape the ice off the car again, get in the car, drive on top of the snow again, make it home, shovel, not one, not two, but 3 driveways. That has been my week. And it's going to happen again tomorrow. How riveting. Sometimes I wonder, why do I live in Michigan? What drove me to do this to myself? Hey, what's up, Ray? Welcome to the Build Show. Ray, which is keep holding on. This is their build. So if you guys want to chat with Ray, he's over in the YouTube chat. Noah, welcome back to the Build Show. I'm in the northern. It's been around -15, -30. Yeah, I mean, the temperatures really don't bother me. It's the snow that gets to me. It's exhausting. Everything you do, you have to like factor in the snow in winter. It just sucks. Oh, it gets old. It gets old after a week of dealing with it straight every single day. We get just enough to be irritating. You know, the snow isn't stopping me from doing anything. I can get in the car and we've got 4-wheel drive, so that's not a big deal. It's just the fact that you have to deal with it. It's just exhausting. Like, if it did it like once a week, I'm okay with that. Okay, you know, once a week, all right. Maybe a little dusting here and there, whatever. So be it. I mean, it's flapping down like 2 inches at a time, maybe 4 here and there. And then as soon as you have snow in front of your house on the driveway, packages don't get delivered. Then the drivers are like, ugh, I can't walk in that snow. The 1 inch. It's like an excuse not to deliver. So you got to go out there and shovel. Or blow it. Or whatever you guys do. Anyway. I'm done ranting about my life in the winter. Tonight, we're not here to rant about winter. Tonight, we're here to build Ray's PC. It's black ice over there, Chris. Oh man, that sucks. Black ice is rough, because you can't see it. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. I've hit a few of those patches this year already. Yep. Thankfully, I was in 4-wheel drive and it wasn't that big of a patch. You just feel the little whoop, and then you're back. You got traction again, and you're like, huh, that could have been bad. So, thankfully, it wasn't too bad yet. And it's cold enough here in Michigan where salt is not melting snow or ice or anything like that. So we're to the point where we got to pretty much dump sand. But Michigan doesn't do that. Michigan just says, it's too cold to drop salt down, so there's no point in even sending our trucks out. So then it's like 2-track everywhere you go. I mean, I guess later in the day they did clean it up on Friday. But like I would say Wednesday through Friday, it was like 2-track everywhere. There was just no, they just gave up. They're like, man, we're just not going to go out and plow. Which isn't a big deal for me because I got 4-wheel drive. It doesn't matter. Stopping is the only problem for me when I'm going, you know, above 25, 30 miles an hour. It's the little cars in front of you that have 2-wheel drive that are trying. And you're like going 2 miles an hour because of the little cars. That drives me insane when you have 4-wheel. Ah. Only there was a way to communicate with the driver. In fact, would you politely move to the right so I can go around you, good sir? Yes, I have four-wheel drive. Patiently waiting. But anyway. Yes. Black ice sucks. Winter sucks. For the most part, it sucks. The snow part of it sucks. Everything else about winter is kind of cool. So, I don't mind the temperature, like I said. It doesn't really bother me. So. All right, so tonight we're going to be building a very interesting build. This is actually Ray's second build. If you guys have been following the channel long enough, and if you didn't see this clip, you could probably find it in my shorts, or go find the build for Ray. Might be under Raymond, which was earlier last year. I think, excuse me, I want to say it was October, November, somewhere in that line when we did the build. But we ordered a RTX 5060 in white, and it was the Aero GPU, and it showed up. Not only did I purchase it new, but it showed up used, definitely. It was like, I think, an open box. And I was like, oh crap, I didn't catch that before I got to the build stream. So then I was like, okay, we'll see what it is and how it works, because it still has the full manufacturer warranty regardless. But we opened it up and we found a Xbox 360 power brick instead of a graphics card in there. So somebody had purchased it, swapped the card out for an Xbox 360 power brick, and sent it back to Amazon, and then they resold it to me. Even though it was supposed to be new, they resold me an open box, which is even worse. Or somebody inside Amazon, which would be worse, took the card out and swapped it out with an Xbox 360 power brick, which would be even worse. But that was the experience that Raymond had last time he was here. So fingers crossed, because I haven't looked in that box yet, but that's not another Xbox 360 power brick. And if it is, I'm going to tell you, Ray, to go out and buy a lottery ticket, because you would be one lucky guy. I got to get rid of that Christmas hat on the logo. I keep forgetting to do that before I start the stream. Tonight, I've spent almost an hour and 20 minutes screwing around with Streamlabs because I could not get it to launch. I got it to launch once, then it crashed, and then it wouldn't launch again. And the fix was to reboot the computer. Rebooting the computer isn't a problem, except for the fact it's my streaming rig. So every time I reboot my streaming rig, everything goes haywire. My camera's misplaced, it repositions to a weird default spot. All of my cameras, because they're all Logitech motorized cameras, so I can move them on stream from a remote. So I can zoom in, I can do all sorts of... Anyway, and then my microphones get switched up because I have multiple HyperX microphones connected to the stream PC. My monitors get screwed up sometimes. It's just a laundry list of work to deal with. Why remove the hat? Why would you want me to remove this hat? I'm having a bad hair day. Anyway, had to reboot the streaming rig to get Streamlabs to work. Don't know why that made a difference, because there was nothing had changed since between Wednesday's stream and tonight's stream. Nothing changed. It's the same PC, never rebooted in between. Nothing's changed. Streamlabs. So, Streamlabs got us again. And, you know, it is what it is. My Twitch chat working? You guys over there? Or do I gotta refresh this? Nope. Let's refresh the Twitch chat, because I don't think that's working. Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume it's working. Copy that. Jeffy Tech, did you say anything before that? I don't think my Twitch chat was working. It looked froze. Okay, let's see here. Chris says, I saw something on the news. I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's fake, saying NVIDIA 7 processors having issues with it. NVIDIA 7 processor. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm hoping later in the summer I can buy... Are you saying the 7000 series? No, it's saying I'm hoping later in the summer I can buy the vintage computer and have you build a sleeper with it. I was talking about the Christmas hat above. Oh, gotcha. Remove the hat because it's not Christmas time. Sorry. And Chef Attack said nope, so maybe the chat was just empty. It just didn't look like it was working. It looked weird. Thank you. Chris says it's saying crashing and frozen up on the motherboard. I don't... Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. It's quiet in here tonight. It is. It is pretty quiet. It's okay. Well, I mean, we got started pretty late, so... Yeah, I was supposed to go live around 8 o'clock, and I advertised that, and then I had issues with Streamlabs and couldn't get the stupid thing to launch after it did launch and then crashed. So anytime Streamlabs launches and then crashes, it just gives you all kinds of nightmares. But usually after it's up and running, it's fine. So, all right, so let's go through the PC build tonight. And yes, exclamation point build command should work, and it is updated. If you want the specs of the system, you can do exclamation point build command in the chat, and that'll deliver you all the specs. Hoping that those saved before I rebooted, because I did that before the reboot. And I didn't check, as I assumed. And being in IT, you know you should never assume. Anyway, CPU tonight we're going to be building with is the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. And for the record, we did build out this build, and he actually ordered it a while ago, but there was a massive back order on the case that we wanted, which was the Montech King 95 Pro in blue. You couldn't get that anywhere for like a month and a half. No joke. So right after he ordered it, all of a sudden the cases were out of stock. Or no, he ordered it going into it knowing that the cases were out of stock and back ordered. And I had mentioned that we were talking about it, and we're like, we'll just wait on it. I don't think we expected to wait a month and a half. But we got the case we wanted. We actually ordered a different case just in case. Just in case this case didn't case up. Case. Just in case this case didn't show up, we had another case as a backup. So I do have an extra blue case if anybody's interested. And it is the Thermaltake case. Let's see. 9800X 3D, which has got the 8-core, 16 threads, a maximum boost of 5.2 gigahertz. It's got the AMD Zen 5 technology and the next-gen 3D V-Cache. Absolutely beast of a CPU. It's one of the best gaming CPUs there is on the market today. If you are just purely gaming, this is the best there is, basically. We have the AIM-5 contact frame V2 by Thermalright, which is up there. And then we are going to be cooling the CPU specifically with a Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE Tower Air Cooler, which is in white, for the record. And then we are going to be adding a B850 Aurora Elite Wi-Fi 7 Ice. So this is a white version of the B850. I'm sorry, I said 550 earlier. B850 Aurora Elite Wi-Fi 7. It's the white version of that. And then we have 64 gigs of DDR4 6000 CL30, which is this kit by Cleve. I did not get a white kit at the time that I ordered these. White was unavailable. So we did get black, unfortunately. But it is addressable RGB, so it'll kind of cover it up a little bit. And it'll be plastered with white, but I think it's going to look really nice, to be honest, because the inside of the case is black. And everything else is going to be white, so it's going to have a nice accent to it. And the cables itself are white, blue, and a little bit of black mixed in. It's going to be a really nice accent to it. We were supposed to have a 990 Evo Plus, but those were impossible to get during the time. So we did get the 4 terabyte T-Force Pro G70, another one, just like you saw previously. But the G70 Pro is pretty much equivalent performance, just not Samsung brand. It is T-Force brand. So that is the only change in the order that I had to make. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060 Ti, 16GB GDDR7, 128-bit PCIe 5.0 graphics card, which we got the Gigabyte Aero, which is a white version of the card. And then, as I mentioned before, we're going to be building in the Montech King 95 Pro ATX mid tower, which is a dual chamber case, and it's blue and black on the inside. But the blue was the key that we needed for this for that case, specifically requested. And then we have an 850 watt Montech Century 2 80 plus gold power supply, and we do have replacement fans for the interior because the Pro does include case fans. And I tried getting the non-Pro, but that was just not going to. There wasn't even a back order for that one, so it was either the Pro version or no blue Montech King 95 Pro. So I do have the white fans that I wanted to put in there originally, and I'm replacing them with the black ones that are in the case. So we'll remove those, put these in, and I have all the reverse blades and normal blades. And I also have 120 fans for the top, so we can put those on the top there. Let's see here. Lots of messages on the YouTube. Noah says, and tonight after you stream, can I talk to you about the vintage computer because I found stuff on Amazon, but I don't know if it will be compatible. Yes. Yeah, you're more than welcome to drop that all in the hardware chat. If you have questions on any of the components, drop the questions there, and I will get to the answers after the stream. Steve Anderson says, hello. Welcome back to the Build Show, Steve. Jeffy Tech, drop the build into the chat. Thank you. Steve Anderson, wow, this will be a hell of a computer. 5060 Ti being popular lately. Yeah, it's being popular because a lot of the builds that I'm doing right now, everybody's coming in with like a $2,000 budget, and I have to offset the cost of the RAM and the storage because they want 4 terabytes or 2 terabytes and then 32 gigs, and the cost of the RAM and the storage is so up that I can't fit like a 5070 or 5070 Ti, a bigger card in there. So I'm setting them up so that they can go and replace their card, at least. That idea was good this last month. Going forward, it's even worse because now the cards are getting more expensive. So if that continues, I might put more of the budget towards the graphics card, or I will be forced to, because I don't really want to go much lower than a 5060 Ti 16 gig for this style of a build, right? You know, a 9800X3D is a great processor, and 5060 Ti is a great card to start out with on that processor, 16 gig version, because you could run that card at 100% all day, and that CPU will run circles with it. So right now, that is kind of the offset. That's why you're seeing a lot of that, Steve. And unfortunately, that's not going to last long because graphics cards are going up in price now. What is that? Autobot. Oh, wow. I have AutoMod enabled, apparently. Maybe that's why Streamlabs was so jacked up. Twitch has AutoMod, and it auto-modded the viewers. Stream boot app, blah, 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 for more viewers, blah, blah, blah. The bot. It was a bot chat. Steve Anderson says 5060 Ti will play many games at 4K, and DLSS 4.0 makes it even better. I agree. That's basically my bottom card for a 9800X3D is like a 5060 Ti 16 gig or the 9060 XT 16 gigabyte. But I want that extra VRAM so you really push into that high-end 1440p, or if you really wanted to dabble in 4K, you could. But 4K not in multiplayer games, but 4K more so in like a single player, expecting 60-ish FPS scenario. Where you're not going to get 120 frames per second. Maybe you do. I don't know what game it is. Okay. Let's get started on the build finally. We spent 20 minutes talking about snow and ice and our wonderful, riveting episodes all week. So let's get started on this build, Ray. Shall we? Been waiting a while for it, and it is finally being done. Actually, I want to stay here. These, however, go somewhere. We're going to spend a lot of extra time on this build dealing with case fans, but it's okay. The main reason is we're going for that white, blue, little bit of black aesthetics. It's going to look really nice, guys. It's going to look really nice. Steve Anderson says, when I play 4K, I want 50 to 75 FPS on high settings. If I get more than that, it's a plus. I think, you know, if you're playing like a single player game, 60 FPS is smooth enough to enjoy it. Especially if you're trying to push for that eye candy. Single player 60 FPS, perfectly fine. Maybe a little higher, but if you're picky about your frames and how smooth it is. But I mean, usually people that play multiplayer games want higher, you know, generally want higher frames per FPS, your frames per second to be up higher. So that's why I usually drive people, because I'd say 90% of the people out there buying a gaming PC are buying it to play multiplayer games. So they're always, I'll play Call of Duty, I'll play Fortnite, I want to play Escape from Tarkov, you know, things like that. All those different games have different, I guess they use the hardware differently. They're different platforms and different engines. So it's important to understand that when you get into building your computer. What is your main title? That's like one of my main questions when I ask somebody, when they come to me and say, hey, I want to build a custom PC, and I'm like, oh, what do you do with the PC? What game do you play mostly? It's one of the main questions. So I can understand what they're doing, what they want to do, and kind of what performance they're looking for, so we could better dial that in for them. Because the hardware does work differently with different games. Or maybe you know, for example, one game might not use as much CPU. It might need more GPU, so we don't have to go as heavy on the CPU. We could go a lot heavier on the GPU. You know, those types of things. Or maybe it's a game that takes a lot of storage, or there's a couple of different titles. We need to make sure he has storage for that. Or maybe they tell me they're trying to stream and game, and I got to make sure he's got at least 8 cores for streaming, and then, you know, a good enough GPU to handle the streaming, and then the storage for doing any type of video editing, because if you're streaming, you're doing video editing. And then, of course, you want the RAM for streaming, too. At least 32 is what I recommend, minimum. Can't really do it on 16 anymore. Love the eye candy. The eye candy is definitely fun. All right, let's get zoomed in here so we can get this processor installed on this beautiful whiteboard. You know, this driver just... So we're going to start with our AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. I don't know what's on the box there, but that's interesting. Can't really see it in real life, but could catch it on the camera. Like a little driplet. I don't even know what it is. Whatever. Some giant idiots popping in with the bad hammer. AMD 7 or 9, which is better? Well, if you're just gaming, honestly, the Ryzen 7 9800X3D or 7800X3D is probably great. And just like some giant idiot said, for production, you could go with the Ryzen 9. So if you do more video editing and streaming, yes, you could get away with the Ryzen 7, but it would be better with the extra cores having the Ryzen 9. The extra cores are very good, yeah. Oh, and it looks like I got myself an anti-sag bracket for him as well. I'm that guy. He just wants to watch. I was thinking about it. Yeah, I think that's on YouTube. Stevie Ray, I think, is available on YouTube, or you can find it anyway. All right, 1 second, guys. I gotta go say goodnight to these girls real quick. And we're back. Production for what? Example? Well, if you're doing video editing or maybe photo editing or music editing or production, that's an example of what production is. Streaming, I'm doing it on an 8-core processor on 2 generations older, 3 generations older? Yeah, 3. I need to do an upgrade. But these prices are insane, and I cannot... It hurts my soul to go buy 64 gigs of RAM for the amount that it costs right now. Because I want nice RAM. Like, I'm picky about my RAM. I'm less picky, you know, if it was just my gaming PC. But it's my PC. I want to be able to play with it. Talking about RAM. Time to install 64 gigs. 6000 CL30. I just cannot. You don't really want to do 128 gigs of RAM with DDR5. It's very finicky. There are specific kits out there, but make sure, definitely make sure if you're going 128, that it is 100% on the QVL list of your motherboard that you're building with, and that it is supported. So go to that QVL list and buy only the kit listed as supported, or you will have lots of issues. But generally speaking, DDR5 does not like to run at its rated speed at 128 gigs, being 64 gigs per slot. It does not like to do that. So what you do is you get two, I think they're 46 or 40, what are they, 48 gig sticks? Two 48 gig sticks, and you come out with 96 total. That's about as the highest I recommend going with DDR5. Anything higher, you pretty much just go to Threadripper at that point. Yeah, maybe. Excuse me. Hey, that 7900 XT still no problems. Just using the display port. All right. You know, the big question is, Steve, is why did that happen? Why does that matter? That is what I would be hunting for an answer. I don't think I've heard of that before, unless it has something to do with the monitor. I'm pretty sure you got a decent monitor over there. Try to remember everybody's builds, but I can't remember everybody. Can't remember everything. I'm getting older, guys. I'd say on a daily basis, I talk to at least 15 people on the internet. If it's Discord, if it's texting, email, you name it. I'm talking to like at least 15 different people in one day about a computer. You still remember my build? I think you have an Intel 14th gen. I don't think I'm going to remember the graphics card. i3-12. No, you don't. You don't actually have that. I was pretty sure you have like an i7 or an i9 14, or was it 13th gen? I'm pretty sure you have an Intel. Or you have multiple. That might be what it is. Now at this point, some giant idiot is just trolling me. Okay, now we gotta remove this, and then we can get the Peerless Assassin installed. Oh, you guys didn't even see what I just did there because I was so zoomed in. I actually just installed the SSD down here. Sorry, guys. I completely forgot how zoomed in we were. Sorry about that. But we just installed the SSD. And now we're going to remove the brackets and get the Peerless Assassin installed. Here comes the Peerless Assassin. I bet Tony comes in here and yells about it. Hello from Portugal. Welcome. Welcome to the Build Show. Hey, what's up, Killer? Happy Saturday to you. Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Over there on Kick.com. Don't forget, we have the after party on Discord. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. Some giant idiot. We usually pregame there too. And you can see Ben in full panic when Streamlabs doesn't open. Hey, what's up, Riemann? Welcome back to the Build Show. 1660 Super or 1080 Ti for video editing, 3D modeling, and coding. I'd probably go 1080 Ti. That gets you 11 gigs of VRAM. The problem is, the only thing I would say about that is that 1080 Ti has a bigger power supply requirement, and with that, it has a higher power draw, way less efficient. So more heat, more power with the 1080 Ti. 1660 Super will get the job done, but you have almost half the VRAM. I would say the 1080 Ti is much better in that regard, but you are dealing with an older card, most likely used, and you are also dealing with a higher power draw and more heat to get to dissipate. Hopefully you are staying warm from Arizona. Kick too. Yes, no, I saw. I know it's you, Killa. Yes, we are staying warm inside. Outside, however, it's been cold. Beginning the stream, I was talking about that. It's getting to me. Not the cold. The snow part is what's getting to me. The snow might break me. Plus, GTX is not RTX, no ray tracing. Yes, good point. Good point as well, Steve. White build, yes. Oysterhead, welcome back to the Build Show. It's been a minute. I think I've seen you pop in and out of here a couple times. Yeah, we're doing a white build inside a blue case, the Montech King 95 Pro. If you want more details, exclamation point build in the chat. It was up to date. It actually updated. Ben actually did his job. Imagine that. Imagine Ben actually doing his job. Dude. I mean DDR4, sorry. You have a question. 32 gigs of RAM still good for gaming build, even for recent games, right? DDR4, yes. So DDR4 versus DDR5 doesn't make that big of a difference when it comes to gaming performance. It has a much bigger difference when it comes to other things, but For gaming, you are perfectly fine running DDR4 still today in 2026. Perfectly fine. Somebody did a whatchamacallit on it, a study or proof. It barely makes a difference. So, if you are going DDR4 to save some money right now because of the cost of RAM, it is a good move. It's not a bad move. Downside is you're limited to your platform. So, we could talk about that for a second. AIM-5, which is this platform that we're building on, is only DDR5. That means you're not building on an AIM-5 platform. That means if you're going with AMD, which is going to be the cheapest option, that's going to be AIM-4, which is going to be older, which means if you're going to do an upgrade later, it's going to make it more difficult, unfortunately. So the only other option that you could do to get you the newest, best option is to go with like a 12700K or a 12600. This, we're talking about an Intel i5 or an Intel i7 12th generation. In that range, to get started on a board, because they offer both DDR5 and DDR4 motherboards. You have to be very careful though if you go out and buy a motherboard for that platform to make sure it is a DDR4 motherboard. And because of the RAM shortage right now and the cost of RAM, a lot of people are doing that because it gets you the most recent CPU platform on DDR4 platform, and also gives you the ability to go all the way up to 14th generation Intel processors if you wanted to. So that is a little bit of a better upgrade path than AIM-4. Although AIM-4 has some decent upgrade options. If you started with AIM-4, for example, like a Ryzen 5 5500 or 5600, you can work your way all the way up to a 5900 or 5950 if you really wanted to. And those are still really good processors. It's just you can get all the way up to the 14900K, which is going to run circles around the 5900X. In my opinion, that would be the better upgrade path for going with the Intel 600 series or 700 series boards with DDR4. You just have to make sure you find them. They're just really hard to find right now. And if you do find them, most likely they're going to be a little pricey. Yes. So that is what you're doing. The Intel platform. Now, one thing you could do, I don't know if you have a Micro Center nearby you, but I think you did say you were in Portugal, right? All good? Question mark. Yes. Yes, you did say you're in Portugal, so never mind. Scratch that idea. I had to go up in the chat and read. Scratch that. And I'm searching for a 5060 Ti or even an AMD 9800 XT. I think you mean a 9060 XT for the graphics card. Or 6800. 7800, 6800. I don't know what a 9800 XT is. Don't think that exists. I just want a regular computer with amazing graphics, some streaming and internet video. We'll play some light games on it. I want to get the right motherboard. Yeah, you don't really need, Chris, you don't need like a crazy motherboard for all that. The motherboard is really just to define how many additional you don't need a crazy motherboard for all that. You could go, if you're on the AMD platform, with a B850 or a B650 even, and you'll be perfectly fine. I want to keep it down to 1600, but no more than 1900 if I could beat that price. Hey, what's up, Tom? Tom of PC. Just came in to say hi to all. Enjoy your build and evening. Need sleep badly. Welcome back to the Build Show. Have a good night, sir. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you're also enjoying your evening and your weekend. I would like to have a graphics card not too old and above 8 gigabytes. So if you want above 8 gigabytes, you're a decent option if you're going for budget. Have you considered the Intel Arc B580? That is going to be your most budget 8 gigabyte for above 8 gigabyte card that'll have, but there's limitations on that. You're really only going to play newer titles. I also don't know what you're going to do with the PC, so I can't make recommendations around what I don't know. So if you told me what you're doing with the PC, I can make better recommendations. Thanks for the information. What did I inform you on? I'm sorry. There's a lot of different chats going on here. You guys mean the 9850X3D, right? That is coming. I don't think that's what he meant. I think he was thinking of like a 6800 XT graphics card, which is above 8 gigs of VRAM. But yeah, and then the next option is the 9060 XT at 16 gigabytes. That would be the next more budget friendly besides the B580. If you want the newest generation, the Intel Arc B580 is going to be the cheapest, and then the AMD 9060 XT 16 gigabytes is going to be the next, and then the 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes is going to be the next. And then from there, you could go down. You can go down to a 7700 XT, which is 12, or go into like a 6800 XT or something like that, you know, past generations, which are still really nice cards, by the way. Can a 2K monitor play 4K video? No, it won't be truly 4K. I mean, it'll play 4K on the browser or on your on your player, but it's not going to be true 4K on your screen. Like it's not going to be a 4K resolution. Yeah, man, go with the 5080. There you go. Just leave it to Roy to come in and slap that down on the table. Sky says, I need a budget card. Okay, what's your budget? We got lots of questions here, Ray, tonight. Sorry. Saturdays are usually a popular night where people come in and ask questions, so we're making very slow progress on the build, but we will get it done tonight. Your budget's $300. You need a budget card. Sky, what kind of games are you playing? Some giant idiot says 5060. If you want a brand new card, 5060 would be a good option. I know you can find in some cases, especially if you have a Micro Center nearby you, a 9060 XT 16 gigabyte around 300. Some of them you can find for 340, 350. You like newer AAA, then you're definitely going to want to go with like a 5060 or a 9060 AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT or a NVIDIA RTX 5060. That is going to be what's in your budget for a newer card. The reason why, because you're playing AAA, newer AAA titles, is because both of those cards have the newer DLSS 4.0 and or FSR versions to help frame gen. So that is, and that's what most newer AAA titles are supporting, is that frame gen. So you're going to want the 5060 or the 9060 XT. That'll get you the best bang for your buck at $300 for a new card playing AAA titles. And yes, you're going to be playing 1080p. Those are both 1080p cards. If you can squeeze out a few more dollars, Sky, or save up a few more dollars, get that 9060 XT 16 gigabyte versus the 8 gigabyte. And that'll help you bump you up into 1440p if you wanted to play 1440p 2K. Chris says, oh, but I'll have the option later. And it'll work on a 4K monitor, question mark, wait. I never thought too much about Arc. Yeah, it's limited to kind of newer titles. you're playing stuff older than like 5 years, games older than 5 years ago, maybe the Intel Arc is not the right graphics card for you because their drivers don't have a ton of support for older titles. But if all you're doing is playing newer titles, Intel Arc is a perfectly good option. That's my only hesitation. Expect to play. I'm responding to our Portugal friend over on YouTube. Some giant idiot. And Sky. I wasn't the Intel Arc response was not to you, Sky. Over on Twitch. So just so everybody's aware, we have YouTube chat, we have Twitch chat, and we have Kick chat, Facebook chat, and Instagram, technically. So there's a lot of different chats we're going through that you guys can't see. And I'm bouncing in between all of them. Just so everybody's aware. I mean, I will play CS2 and Apex Legends. And in that case, I'd go 5060 Ti then, to be honest. Sky says over on Twitch is a Soyo and a Soyo. Wow, I cannot say that word. I've tried like 8 times. AMD Radeon RX 580 a good option? No. That is not a good option. The reason why it's not a good option is because even though technically AMD still supports the drivers to an extent, they're only releasing really security updates on the drivers. So those drivers are hitting end of life soon. So I do not recommend, and thank you Sky for the follow over there on Twitch, I do not recommend the B5. I'm sorry, I do not recommend the AMD RX 580, which is, for clarification, not the Intel Arc B580. Those are CPU intensive games, they are. So definitely a little heavier on the CPU. And then if you could get to like an AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT, you'll be just fine. 16 gigabyte or 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte. But I think the NVIDIA card would do you way better for the games that you're playing. Oh yeah, then go with the 5060 Ti 16 gig. And if you need to save some money to buy the 5060 Ti 16 gig, you can cut back on that i7 and go to like an i5 12600 or an i5 14600K, and that is actually a beast of a CPU for gaming. You have one more question, hit me Sky, and then we're gonna go back to the build. When will I start building? Oh my god. I am building. I'm trying to talk. I can't chat. Nice. You got me. I am building right now. We're just answering a lot of questions. Okay. So now that we have our contact frame on the CPU, we have our RAM installed, our SSD installed, and I removed the plastic brackets. Go ahead and finish installing the brackets for the Thermalright Peerless Assassin cooler that we are putting in. we say? The Arctic MX4 for our thermal paste. All right. Fans installed. Or somehow I left a almost sent you a wrist hair. Sure, Ray would have appreciated that. What are the specs of this PC? So Sky, you can actually do exclamation point build in the chat and it'll spit out the specs for you. But it is a 9800X 3D AMD CPU, Ryzen 7. It's got 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30 RAM, and then it's got a 4 terabyte Gen 4 SSD under here on a B850 motherboard. I got a 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte graphics card. Got a bunch of white fans that are going to be going in the case. It's a blue Montech King 95 Pro, and 850 watt power supply, etc. What are you thinking about the i5 14600K? Yeah, I wouldn't buy the F model. The F model means no onboard graphics. So anything KF or F, no onboard graphics. everything with a K or no letter has onboard graphics for Intel. And the reason why that's nice is if you have to troubleshoot, hey, why am I not getting something on the screen? You could troubleshoot without your graphics card and verify that the PC works without the graphics card, and then you know you have a problem with the graphics card. So it just simplifies troubleshooting. If you ever had an issue. Blah, 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 blah. I can't talk all of a sudden. Just my brain just blah, blah, blah. All right. So that motherboard is basically ready to go in the case with the cooler mounted and everything. We're basically ready to go. Oh yeah. Ray, did you want blue zip ties? We're doing blue zip ties. Hell yeah. I'm just excited we can use them. The blue ties. We're breaking out the blue ties, guys. Oh yeah. Awesome blue zip ties. It's not very often I get to use the blue ties. That's why I get so excited. I have green ties. It's going to be used on my build. Hey, what's up? Kraken. Welcome back to the build show. How's it going? It's going pretty good. Trying to this build going. Oh. All right, so this is ready to go in. Set that aside and get the case out. Oh yeah, it's blue. I wish they made like a blue-white version of this. By the way, this smells fresh. Like, definitely was made within the last month. Okay. Now we remove the fans. It's going good. Hunting down a 4080 Super and a 5080. Oof. Those are going to be hard to find right now. Make sure you check the Zotac refurbished store or the open box. They sometimes can have some deals there on that kind of stuff. And we're replacing all these fans with white. Yeah. Gartson, what are you talking about? That is not where the PSU goes. LOL, classic noob mistake. What did I do to what did I do? I'm not even installing a PSU. What are you talking about? Imagine Empower gaming computers. 850 watt 80 plus silver is enough for a 5060 Ti and Intel Core i5. Oh yeah, that's more than enough. In fact, you could probably run that on 650 watts. Roy, the Intel guy. Ben, I finally figured out what I'm gonna do for the case for my small area. I'm going with a LandCool 207. I did see that in the Discord chat. I'm also going to switch over for space saving. There's no such thing as space saving. Killa. Oh, thank you for all the great info. Oh, you're welcome, man. I did find a 5080. Brecken says, I did find a 5080 for $950 used on Facebook, but it's gonna get eaten up before I can get the money for it. Damn. Yeah, I mean, Zotac has some pretty good deals on the Zotac refurb site, and their open box deals include the remaining manufacturer warranty, I believe, so you have warranty on top of it. You can go all the way down to a 650 watt and be perfectly fine. But I mean, the bigger power supply you put in there, the better upgrade you can support. So, for example, if you put the 850 in there, you could go all the way up to like a 5070 Ti with no problem. And maybe squeeze in a 5080 if you wanted to, depending on the rest of the upgrades. But that's my point. If you put a 650 in there, you're pretty much going to have to upgrade the power supply as soon as you upgrade the graphics card later. Kind of like what you're doing now is future-proofing or simplifying the upgrade. And the difference between a 650 watt and an 850 watt is about $40 difference. Right? Right, guys? About $40. So, Ray, do you want silver fan screws or do you want black? I think we just go with the black. BH. Really can't see them. Already got them all open. Pick that phone. Hey, what's up, Robert? Welcome back to the Build Show. Thank you for the cheers over there, Killer. On the Twitch. This is kind of what it's going to look like. We're going white on the internals, black on the internal case, and blue on the exterior case. It's going to look really freaking. Now we got 3 reversed fans for the bottoms. Every time I hear Zotac, I think the guys from Dude, Where's My Car? Zoltan. Dude, where's my car? Also, for clarification, non-K, K is good, KF is bad. K is good because it's an unlocked processor and you can overclock it. K, non-K, for the Intel processors. We're just going back to Intel processors because I was reading the chat above and I kind of missed this part of it. But, okay. Intel processors explained. Let's start there. So, Intel processors have this weird letters, the weird letters or no letters after the model, or series and then model. So you've got the model, which is the Intel i5 or i7 or i3 or an i9 or whatever. That's your level, I guess. I don't know how to better describe this. That's your model. I'm gonna call it. And the higher the I number is, the better, the more cores, and of course the more heat and the more power draw you're gonna have. But then you have next to that the generational numbers, which is also reflecting the i7, i9, i5 numbers. So you have, for example, we'll just start with the 12th generation for simplicity. i3 12100. The 12 is representing the 12th generation of the processor, and the 100 after that is representing the version of that i3. Because there could be a i3 12150, for example. There could be something like that, and that's a different version. But then, to add more to the complication of the model, you have letters afterwards, or no letters at all. No letters means there's onboard video, and it is not an unlocked processor, meaning you cannot do anything with it outside of it's just running the stock settings, and you might be able to adjust things on the BIOS depending on if you have a nice motherboard or not. In regards to the K, the K means it's an unlocked processor. You could definitely overclock it and do a lot more with it. The F means there is no onboard video. So if there's an F in it, there's no onboard video. Anything without letters will have onboard video. Anything with just a K will have onboard video. If it's a KF, it means it's an unlocked processor without onboard video, meaning you need a dedicated graphics card to run it. So that is, in a nutshell, Intel naming schemes, models kind of explained. I don't know if that makes any sense or makes it more confusing or less confusing. I hope it helps somebody, but we'll probably clip that or something somewhere down the line. CJ, welcome back to the Build Joe. CJ in JC. First time chat over on Twitch. Joan? Is it Joan? TBE? What's up? Welcome back to the Build Show, or welcome to the Build Show. Intel started complicated with the numbers. Well, it's not that complicated. Once you understand it, it's like understanding a language. Once you understand it, it's just there, and you just know what it is. Correct. So KF will not have onboard graphics. So if that's your intent, is to have onboard graphics, which you don't need it. It's not bad to have a KF processor. It just means you won't have onboard video. Don says, I'm coming from YouTube since it's more delay, but I already followed you on both platforms. Oh, nice. Well, welcome to the Build Show over on the Twitch side. And I appreciate the follow. KS, Papa Ben? I'm not even gonna, we're not even gonna talk about KS. He's not gonna bother with it. Let's keep that simple. If you want to go for it. I'm not getting into it. Oh, thank you, Hizigan and Camera Domain. Camera Domain. Thank you both for the follows over there on the Twitch side as well. You're also on too? Okay. Gotcha. You're over on YouTube as well. How's it going? What are the specs? You could do exclamation point build in the chat to receive the specs. But the build that we're doing tonight is a 9800X3D on a B850 gigabyte Aorus Elite Wi-Fi 7 ICE motherboard. 64 gigs of DDR4, 6000 CL30 RAM by Cleve, and 4 terabyte M.2 NVMe Team Group Gen 4 SSD, and a 5060 Ti 16 gig, 850 watt in a Montech blue, and our theme is blue and white / black. We also have extension cables for sleeved extension cables for the build too. This is going to look really nice when we're done. Okay, I'm going to steer away from the chat, guys, and focus on the build for a little bit here. Make some progress. I still haven't picked up the screw that almost got away. Oh yeah, the black screws on the white fans. Going to look absolutely scrumptious. No, I don't want you to lift the screw. I want to screw the screw. Okay, thank you. LTT store screwdriver problems. 4,300 for this? I don't think we... No, we were like at 2,800. This was back in the beginning of December when we started this build, guys. We just had a major delay from our wonderful friends at Newegg on this case. They back ordered the case on me, and it took about a month and a half to get here, and they really wanted this case for the build because they have another Montech King 95 in white, and this is the second build that they're doing, so they both wanted the King 95, but they wanted the blue one for this build. That being said, we waited for it. We got a little extra time. But in hindsight, that was a good move on their part to purchase the build back then because it saved them a lot of money. They purchased it now, yes, it would be a lot more. Okay, and then we're also doing these wonderful blue zip ties matched with the blue case. Oh, yeah. This person play games, Ben? Question mark? He's in the chat. Ray, do you want to talk about what games you're planning to play on this PC? You're correct. Ogan. The 4 terabyte SSD probably at the moment would be the most expensive component in this build, correct? By the way, you're building a great PC. It looks good. Thank you. John says, I want to get started with PCs. I think of starting with a AM4 motherboard and a Ryzen 7 5000 series processor, or saving up a bit more and getting an AM5 motherboard and a Ryzen 7. I would not go with the 8000 series. If you're going to go with the Ryzen 7, go with a 7700X or a 9700X. If you're looking for like a more budget-friendly Ryzen 7, don't go with the 8000 series. Just avoid that at all. Just pretend that doesn't exist. House of Brick. More like the NVMe is $1,000. It actually isn't. It's still reasonably at $400-ish. So that's about $100 per terabyte. So 400. It's between 400 and 450 for a 4 terabyte right now, and it's that it comes down to about $110 per 1 terabyte. But a 1 terabyte costs about 120 right now. Gen 3, and a Gen 4 1 terabyte costs 150, and then 2 terabyte is like 250-ish, maybe more now. Steve says, good thing he got the RAM, then it would be about 1,000 right now. Yeah, we got the RAM back in December, early December, so thankfully that wasn't outrageous back then. I mean, it was still at an outrageous point, but it wasn't as outrageous as it is today. So, all right, let's go ahead and put our 140 millimeter reversed white fans in the side, and then we could drop a motherboard in here and start making some progress. Not that we aren't, but here's our 140s. We're going to install on the side as intake. This is a very aesthetic build, if you haven't noticed. You haven't caught on to that. Very aesthetic. I do like how Montech puts these nice cable slots on both sides. Right cables on both sides. This really helps hide these cables on the front side. I do like that. Not very often do I get to do the fan on this side. They're usually already installed, and that's like one of the main pillars is fans are already there. Save money on fans. I don't know where this fan is supposed to be. Second one. We'll just kind of play it here. I'm just going to put 2 screws in for now, hold it in place, and then we're going to put the second one in and see where it places. Thank you for your perspective. It made me reconsider and try to choose more wisely. Yeah, no problem. I've got a lot of experience. Built a lot of PCs. I've made a ton of mistakes on the way too, so don't get me wrong. That's how you learn. Looks like Ray says, I may play a few aviation games or a single player sniper game. I'm so easily distracted these days, so I don't play games online. But mostly single player. I think I want this down a little bit, like right here. And we're going to drop that fan a little bit too. Dude. Why is there a third one? I unplugged something. Yep. This. Go back up. You have any dogs or cats? Yes, I do. I've got both. I have a dog named Max and 2 cats, one named Whiskey and the other one named Edward, also known as Eddie. I had to cover my dog just now. He was uncovered and the house is very cold. Yes, Mr. Max over here. Frequently I put a blanket on him because I know it's pretty cold down here on the floor. He has a bed, but it's still pretty cold. He's living it pretty comfortable. John says, or Joan over on Twitch, and reading what I said about building my PC, I want it for university. I'm studying to study civil engineering, and I don't know which processor you recommend. So are you planning to game also on top of the civil engineering? If you're not gaming and you're just building a PC for studying, then you could just run an 8000 series processor. So that could make a difference. Nice, pretty names. Thank you. What do you guys think? Think that's clean enough? That cable management clean, you know? Ray waited so long for this build, it better be immaculately perfect. We'll need an extension for that. Okay, those are done. Now that we're back to where we were, now we can finally install the motherboard. We have all of our studs for an ATX motherboard in place, all 9 of them, so we can literally just drop the board in. And get our hardware out. Super clean. Looks fantastic. White and blue is fine. I love it. Yes. It is really starting to come together. The vision is starting to come out. That is clean. Something I actually forgot about is the G bracket. We are installing that. Remove. This is a slightly longer card, and it's going to be shipped with the Instapack shipping. I want to make sure has a little extra support. And for the $12 that this bracket costs, why wouldn't you? You've been live for 2 hours almost, I know. We just now got a board in here. We had a lot of questions early on, so that took up a lot of time. which is perfectly fine. Saturday nights, we usually get a lot of questions. A lot of new people join us on Saturday weekends, usually. Weekend streams. Alright, so I got these studs that I'm putting in here for the GPU support bracket. Lost the driver. Sorry for that. No, you're fine. Nothing against any of the questions. It's just usually I would have it build pretty close to done. The other reason why this is taking extra time is because I had to remove all the fans and then install a bunch of new fans, replace with different color fans. So that added an extra good 30 minutes to this build. All the extra cabling and but typically a build is around 2 hours on the stream. Typical build. Where he's getting extra attention to detail. Been waiting for this build for quite some time, so I want to make sure it's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect for him. Alright, so that bracket that's in here, once we get the graphics card in, we can then put the actual support on it. That'll hold the card, and then we can also put one, if we can't put one on top on this scenario because of the slot, position slot. So next, we can get our front panel connectors plugged in, and then we have some cable extensions to install, which is really going to look nice. And then once we get the cable extensions in the front panels, we can do the top fans, and really all that's left after that is a power supply and a graphics card, and then some cable management on the backside. So, and we've already been doing a lot of cable management on the backside as we go, so there won't be a lot. So yes, we're at 2 hours, but we're a lot further along in this build than you think. We already have the cooler installed and everything else pretty much done. Now we just got to get the front, basically just get everything plugged in and then install 3 more fans. And we're pretty much done. So it'll go a lot faster than almost good. No. Oh. Did not think of that. Robert says, I took it apart and reordered it. What are you talking about? What'd you take it about? One of my 120, 28mm Montec fans came with our ARGB cable and PWM signal cables shorted. Bummer. Did you try to fix it? Is that why you took it apart? Resoldered. Oh, that makes way more sense. I took it apart and then reordered it. Sorry. 1440p screen, 32-inch, a little farther away. Old guy eyes. Thank you for the clarification.
Yes. Perfect.
Forgiven.
Thank you. Apologies. Roman all of a sudden?
Oh, yeah. Can't even see the cables leading up to the board until they plug in. Because the black on black cable. Black cable on the black case really hides the cable. You can see the white cables, but you can't really see the black ones. They're really well hidden. Oh. Somebody go fire this guy over on the Kick Chat. This stream is bad. Go watch me, it says. And he says that 8,000 times. Some giant idiot with the band hammer. Yes! Looks amazing. Great job. You know what, Boach H? You can go yourself. Some giant idiot. That was pretty quick. There's no apologies needed. You remember when I was trying to boot my Windows 8? I'm now like frick that Windows 8 because I got nothing that I can make the USB bootable. Well, if you have an ISO, you can always use what's that? Why am I drawing a blank? Somebody help me. Somebody help me. I'm drawing a blank on the name. And I have no idea why I'm drawing a blank on it. There's a tool out there that's free that you can use to make an ISO bootable on a USB drive. And I'm drawing a complete blank on the tool name. Because I'm old and I'm tired. Thank you, Rufus. The GOAT definitely was before Microsoft finally released their crap. Holy smokes, you had to actually make your own bootable anything, and Rufus was the leader. The only tool that ever was that would do it and make it work. My bro, no, yeah, no, you're not where it's already installed. No, you are creating the setup drive to install Windows on the device on your laptop drive or your computer drive. I can't remember if it was a computer or not, but with that is what you're doing to set up and install Windows. It's better to do that than buy Windows already on a drive. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to give you issues. All right. So now that we got these front panel cables plugged in, time for our cable extensions, which are from the Asia Horse. The Asia Horse, yeah? You like a compound chicken? I like city chicken. We're going back to. Well, you got like a shitty chicken. Sorry if I'm making fun of anybody in here, but I am using South Park references, so it is safe. These are the beautiful cables that we have chosen, which I felt were almost spot on perfect for this build. Absolutely fitting. Oh, Horse in Asia. Yes. I need to stop. I'm so bad. I'm terrible. Cannot help myself. Alright, so this is the fun job, or the fun part of the job, is cable combing the cables. And trust me, since I love the experience so much, I want to make sure that you also have the experience, that I share it with you, because I cherish the cable comb management, the cable comb process that much. It's such a special process that I enjoy. But it's worth it in the end.
Idiot.
Talking to myself. Oh yeah, that look really nice. Noah says, I'm inside your walls. I used to assemble and repair PCs. I never did that in my life, and I think my older brother also didn't. I think that when... Oh wait. He used to assemble PCs, but nowadays, he only does cell phone repairs. He said that PCs didn't make him much money, and people come to him more for cell phones than PCs. Yeah, it's because PCs, you know, like in a gaming PC niche, people want expertise. But if it's just like a house PC, you're just going to go on Best Buy or whatever store and buy something simple. You know, I think that when we are in less popular area, we end up having these kinds of problems. So yeah, you'll have different niches. Some work, some don't. Reasons I like 40-inch fast gaming screen is to sit 1.5 meters away. Very nice. Astral 5090 says, hi there. Want to know what dream PC screen is, and do you think it will ever happen? It's a 40-inch 16:9 aspect ratio 4K plus OLED and 360 hertz. Yeah, probably eventually. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't exist in high refresh right now. You don't have a computer that will work for any of that? Well, you do need a PC in order to create the boot drive. If not, then you have to go get a boot drive already made. Toasty, what's up? Welcome to the Build Show 67. I see where we're going with this, and I'm not gonna go for it. Maybe if my 13-year-old daughter was here, I would go for it, just to embarrass her. It's only 135 hertz. Yeah, we've got years to go, my friend. Years to go. Oh boy. See what happens. Late at night, you get the 6-7 boys. They come in. There, I did it for you. Hope you appreciate it, Toasty. All right. So now that that's done, we have to get our EPS cables in, which is in this top corner, and then we can install our top fans. Not our Top Gun. And it's gone. The floor has eaten that one. Everybody F's in the chat for that cable comb. This is exactly why I didn't do the top fans yet. Makes it really easy to put these cables in without the fans. Makes it so simple. Hard to get much better than this, guys. I mean, I guess we could have gone with Cable Mod cables and added an extra $300 on cables. And got the exact lengths that we needed. Only thing more we could have done. Where did Ray go? I don't know. Maybe he fell asleep. What do you think mine would cost of range PC? Give me the specs again that you were looking at. I know you're trying to do like a sleeper. But again, I talked to a lot of people about PCs. you gotta keep it fresh for me, sorry. And I'm not alone with wishing... Oh yeah, I know, there's a lot of people that want that Astral. A lot of people. But... Oh snap. Oh yeah. Look at that. That looks absolutely delicious. Okay, now we're going to do the 3 fans on the top here. That's really going to fill things out. The frame, the white frame. Very important for us to center it up like these ones. Aesthetics, very important for the aesthetics. If you haven't caught on, this is a very aesthetics case. Aesthetics driven case. Actually, not going to use it. Actually, should be. Don't have, but it's not going to matter because it's going to have a panel over it anyway. Better. Plus, of course, you take the panel off, and if you take the panel off, then sorry, I cheated. A little bit. Only solution for this is to have a 27-inch and sit close. Yeah, you can sit close like me because I'm old, and that's what I have to do to see people across the map with FPS. Hey, I'm still here. It's awesome watching a master at work. I used to build computers in the 80s. This is great. I hope it's everything you guys were waiting for. I know it was a long wait. Uh-oh. Thought I cut. Cut 2. Okay. Alright, so this is gonna get tricky. Now we got plenty of hub space on. No trick. The trick with lining these up and centering them is not installing the fan or installing the screw all the way on the first go. For example, I am going to just start the screw and get one more screw on the other side diagonal from it. Started. Basically it just hangs there, but that allows me to be able to slide the fan back and forth, see? Oh, I didn't realize how blurry we were and how off. There we go, that's much better. And that was That'll give me the ability to maneuver these and center them up with the bottom fans so that they are aesthetically placed. Same thing with this one. Then once I'm happy with where it is, when I can eyeball it a little better, I'll tighten them down and then I can put the rest of the screws in. Then of course after we get the fans in, we'll cable manage the inside and then cable manage the back. With, you guessed it, there we go. So now that allows me to push these around, center it up exactly where I want it. These bottom fans are pretty much right here. I want to be. Now that I know where I want to be, I'll drive it in. And it may not look like it's centered on the top here, but that is because this panel has longer range to the back than it does to the front or the bottom. But eyeballing it, it looks almost dead on. So that looks really good. Looks even with the bottom fans, and that's what I really wanted. Now, if I wanted absolute perfection and performance, I would have gotten reversed blades for these two and made these intake, but because we had a third exhaust, I didn't want the heat from the exhaust just coming right back in and getting sucked in. But what that does is put intake into it. We do have the side intake right there as well, so I'm not super worried about it. On this particular case design, it's going to do really nice. Normal monitor would be an issue if I had an ergo arm and pull it much closer. Yeah, maybe. Nowadays, people speak of Killian. I still speak DOS. Klingon. I totally messed that up. So again, older guy, 32-inch monitor, far away, small text. Klingon. Most people speak Klingon. I still speak DOS. The 770 or 775 socket was great in its day. Intel made a pretty good living with that. They did do a pretty good job with it. I had an AMD core. I can't remember what was on it. Oh, got it. Yes. It had instructions on it how to do a build in Windows 95. Nice. AMD FX. Or are we going back to socket 462, socket A? You know what? I know what. But do you know what? We all know what. All right. Besides having to clean up these cables on the inside up there, this is what it looks like. Not bad, huh? Starting to look like a gaming PC after all. Alright, so now we're going to clean up these cables here, and then we will get those cables plugged into the back, and then all we have to do is get a graphics card in, plug a power supply in, do a little bit of teeny tiny bit of cable management on the backside, and we're just ready to go. Fire this thing. Nice and clean. That's the way we do it. I don't want these cables to feel like I'm trying to choke them up. Absolutely beautiful so far. All right, let's drop a graphics card in here, put that cable extension on that. All the G port brackets, the last piece of that, and then we can drop a power supply in here. Finish up the little bit of cable management left. And be done. 5060 Ti, Ray. Let's hope it's not a Microsoft 360 power brick again. Xbox 360 power brick. Remember last time? Like I said, if we do get another Xbox 360 power brick, then you're definitely going to go play the lottery. And when you win, you're going to buy more PCs for me. Oh my gosh, it's actually a graphics card. That's a bonus. And it's sealed. Man, I almost thought we were going to have fun. Who is? Let's go, party! Did you ground yourself so you don't shock the board? You really don't have to. In 2026, static electricity is not really a problem anymore. Not that static electricity doesn't exist, it definitely does. Because these components are not as fragile as they used to. Yeah, this card isn't going anywhere, so we'll have to pack some packaging between the cooler and the card, and then the Instapak will pack around it, and it will hold it pretty well into place when we ship this, because this is going to be shipped. All right. The last thing we got to do is get this power cord in here. I really want to run it down under, like so. I think it will look absolutely amazing. Wanted to see if there was enough length on it. There is. That is what we are going to do. Oh yeah. If a fan stops, just simply put on a new fan. I mean, yeah, you could just turn on a new fan at this point. Look at how clean. Look at how clean that build is. So clean. All right, so let's get this power supply in here, and then we can fire this thing up. Clean up some of this hardware. Get that stuff out of my way. This is a 850 watt, 80 plus gold, fully modular power supply. And because it is going to be shipped, I'm going to shove all the cables in. So I don't have to deal with putting the cables anywhere else in the box or packaging. They'll be all on the power supply and packaged on the back of the computer. Plus, they won't get lost. If he ever does any upgrades to the PC, he'll have all the cables that came with the power supply right there on the back of the power supply. So what you're saying is you're just going to completely botch all your beautiful cable management. That is exactly what I'm saying. Precisely. Super clean. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Ant-Man? Welcome back to the Build Show. Okay, bud? Can't remember if I did this to your other build, Ray. I feel like I would have. Put all the cables on there for you. And as for some weird reason, YouTube keeps showing people that it was live in the morning, still live, and not current people who is live. Yeah, I think something's going on with YouTube because after I finally got Streamlabs working and I went live, it said I wasn't live yet on YouTube, even though I was live. So I had to stop the stream and restart it to get it to go live on YouTube. So there's something going on with YouTube. Actually. Thank you for the sub, Katie Cole. Thank you. And House, about an hour ago, actually also subscribed. I actually missed that. But thank you for the sub. Over on YouTube's. Brand new forums, brand new from store. What are you talking about? Hey, what's up, Grizz Dragon? Welcome to the Build Show. Better YouTube sucks, lol. Grizz Dragon. Sorry. Yeah, there's usually a delay with YouTube, and I don't know why. And then top it off, I think YouTube's having some weird problems today. So. Zen 6. I plan to get the 9950X 3D before EX 3D X2 come out. Some people say Zen 6 is 2027. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's 27. I think it's further down the road with this chip shortage. It's gonna slow down the market a little bit. Hey, don't miss out on anything. Yeah. All the unused cables were included, but not connected. Thank you for connecting them. It will make any upgrades a bit easier. Yeah, typically if I ship a PC, I will go through the process and make sure that those are almost always plugged in when I ship it. That way it's easier to ship the PC for me. I don't have to worry about the cables rattling around somewhere in the box. And then I also know for sure that they will be there if you ever call me and say, hey Ben, where's that SATA cable? I'm trying to plug this in, etc. And I can say, well, it should be on the power supply. So typically I will plug those in to save the trouble for remote phone support. It saves time. Does crowd the back of the PC build, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with putting the cables in there. So I guess I'm pretty surprised I did not do that to the other belt. Must not have had my head on straight. Ray's like, wait, what? You're doing the builds? Don't forget the SATA power. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the reminder. It was much appreciated. I was already well under my way of forgetting it. Let me bump the camera for y'all. Do 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 do. Oh my gosh, would you let me flip around? Thank you. Well, thank you for the follow, Grizz Dragon over there on the Twitch side. All right. Where's might be able to do it in the blue ties. I don't think these are big enough though. Where's my big ties at? The big ones. You know, the big ones, massive ones. Well, these will have to do. Next. Cam went, what, blurry on me? Oh, yeah, it's probably because I'm there. But if I'm too close to it, it's trying to, like, focus on me. Sometimes the camera will do that. Because it has, like, an autofocus feature. Oop. There you have it. Nice and clean on that side. Let's see what we ended up with on this side. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. That is a beautiful, clean build. Hey, what's up? Is that Pril? Prelil? I see online everyone says that NVIDIA is the way better for streaming, but I can't seem to understand why. It is the encoder and decoder built in by NVEC, which is an NVIDIA technology. That is the reason why. It's the encoder and decoder in the NVIDIA card. It's more powerful, more efficient than AMD's. But AMD is not, say, bad for streaming. It's just NVIDIA is a little bit stronger in that department. And also more supported. More compatibility. Is it a bigger percentage? It's really not a percentage thing. It's just it does a more efficient job encoding and decoding while not as impactful on games. So if you're gaming and streaming on the same system, you're going to have less impact on your FPS while you're streaming on an NVIDIA card versus like an AMD card. But AMD is getting the encoder better and better. Yes, like I said, AMD's encoders is getting better. It's just not as efficient as NVIDIA's. So it's not really a percentage of, well, this encoder encodes faster than this one. It's more of the impact that you see while you're streaming or recording, for example. That's the difference. Would you say it's more worth it if I wanted to game and stream to get a NVIDIA 9070 XT versus 5070 Ti? I would tell you to go with the 5070 Ti if you're planning to stream and game on the same PC. It's just the way to go. Not saying that the N9070 XT can't do it. It will definitely do it. But you will get more performance out of it. And that's, I guess, now we're getting into more of an argument of, well, the 9070 XT is cheaper than the 5070 Ti because the 5070 Ti is getting outrageously expensive all of a sudden. Thank you, AI. But so that gets into a different argument. You know, is it worth it at that point? And the answer is, how serious are you about streaming? If you're trying to do it professionally and try to make money on it, then I would tell you don't waste your money on the AMD and just go to 5070 Ti and you'll have less problems. It's not worth going to AMD if you're streaming professionally and making money on it to have weird compatibility issues randomly here and there. It's just not worth the hassle of going through that, your time. Hey Chris, what's up? Welcome back to the Build Show. Shiro, what's up? Welcome back to the Build Show. Hey, what's up, man? I just wanted to say thanks again for the tip about the Lian Li streamer cables to reverse it. My first build came out pretty well. I made a little short on my YouTube. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. If you have joined the Discord channel and you want to drop the short on the Discord channel, you're more than welcome to do that there. To join the Discord channel, it's !Discord. You can just drop it in the general or show off my build, show off those builds section of the Discord. And Shiro is talking about a video I did on how to reverse the Lian Li cables, because I got a lot of questions back when those streamers were first coming out or first started getting popular, and then a little bit after, and I was like, you know, I should really just do a video on this, because people ask me all the time, can you reverse these? And I'm like, yeah, you can. It's actually not that difficult either. It's kind of a pain to get those clips off, but once you get those clips off, it goes pretty smoothly. Hey John, what's up? You're live later than normal. Yes, I am live later than normal. I started actually a little late because we had some problems with Streamlabs, and I could not get my stream started. I spent an hour and 20 minutes dicking around with Streamlabs to find out rebooting my computer solved the problem, which makes zero sense. Zero. NVIDIA is safe always if you want content creation. Yes, that is pretty much the answer. The simplified answer is if you're going to do content creation, just go NVIDIA. It is less hair-pulling issues with compatibility problems. Keep holding on. I stay away from social media also. There might be some old girlfriend haunting me. I'd hope not. It's 12:30 for you, right? It is 12:35 a.m. and guess what time I'm getting up tomorrow morning? In the a.m. Early a.m. So I think we're trying to get out the door like I think 9, so we have to be up to get all the kids ready around 7. No later than 7. That's like the latest. And it's also this is the other great thing. I might wake up, look outside, and find 6 inches of snow, and I might just say, "Screw it, we're not doing this." Back to bed. No, at that point, I'm already making coffee, so might get a couple hours of sleep tonight. Who knows? Stop updating stream. I didn't update. I did not do the update. I eventually did the update because I was like, this thing won't launch. It keeps complaining about the update, so I did it. And it still didn't launch after that, and that's when I rebooted. If you're in the Discord, you'd have more information on the problem I was having. Okay, so now that we have it built, are you ready to see it fired up? Everybody's like, yeah, that's what we're here for, dude. What kind of question is that? We want to see if Ben still built a PC that fires up. Okay, I get it. I'm going to put the glass panel on. Glass front. If I can get the peel to frickin' peel. Holy smokes. You know, Ray, I'm glad I'm doing this for you because this peel is a pain in the ass. Oh my gosh. What a pain. The exterior peel should not be as bad as that one. Still gonna keep my fingers on it though. Oh, it's bad. Ugh. I'm going to put the side glass panel on as well, because it's got the blue frame around it. We'll see how bad the camera is. If it's really bad, I'll take the glass off. There's a bad glare, or if the camera freaks out, then we'll take it off. Oh, for the love. Oh, yeah. Okay, that was real static electricity. Youch! All right. Let's get a side view of this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. There it is. And thank you, Gers Dragon, for the sub over on the Twitch side as well. Much appreciated. All right, Ray. It's up to you now. You got to let us know when you're ready to push this power button. Let me know when you're ready. And maybe we drop this down just a little bit. You got to say, push that power button or punch it or something in those lines. Blue. Oh yeah, imagine this PC with Intel Sparkle GPU. That is actually something I did think about. Grid Dragon, always fun watching the build. Yeah, thank you. Well, let's have let's LFG from Some Giant Idiot. You bought the baby monitor for your GPU? Nice. Jeez, right. Drop the link, and yeah, those clips on the cables were a pain. Yeah, they are a little bit. All right. Ray says 3, 2, 1, do it. I think I might have forgotten the switch. Yeah, I forgot the switch. Oh, yeah. It is quite the build. Oh, wait, there's more. Intel Blue. Love it. Yeah, okay. It's definitely an AMD system. So the good news is, on top of the fact that it looks awesome, it also posted. I'm playing with the hardware controller right now for the RGB. This is like a blue and a white kind of pulse, which is actually a really cool effect. Ray says, that's awesome. That was the Thermal Grizzly WireView Pro GPU. Oh, yeah. Because you, did you put one of those on? Is that the first one or the new one? Was that the first one? Zishu? Zishiru? Shiro? Sorry. I Li Wen see the white yellowish light. Can you go Beth to natural light? Fantastic. I also undervolted the CPU and the GPU. Oh, nice. Good. Yeah, you don't really need all the voltage that comes on them. Undervolting actually helps a lot of times get a little bit of performance and also reduces temperatures. Yeah, the 50 series connector problems really is only with the 5090, and or if you have a card with a 16-pin 12-volt high-power connector that you did not fully seat the cable on either the power supply or the graphics card. So that'll create arcing. Arcing creates heat. Heat creates melting. Z-Shiro came up with that name years ago when I was a kid. LOL. Z-Shiro. Shiro? Z-Shiro. I think I got it. That looks sick. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Told you guys this would be a cool build. It was a really fun one. Other than having to redo the fans in the case, but that's what happens when they only have the Pro version of the blue. So the Pro version is the one that comes with the fans. Oh, no worries. Don't worry about the English. I deal with it all the time. And I'm not very good with reading English. So we're doing okay. As you can see, your build reminds me of Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam. Ostrino's The Creation of Ray's Computer. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. It's a good build. Solid. And if you haven't already seen the top, we got the same fans, RGB fans on the top of it as well. So it's going to be the same throughout the build. The only thing different we could have done is gotten the same RGB effects on the, at least the front fan here on the cooler, and that would have looked cool. But, I mean, it looks cool regardless. More like Shiro. Okay, so Z-Shiro. Z-Shiro. Oh, great. We're going back to when I was talking about the Asia horse. Guys, somebody stop me. Curved from glass. Very cool. Oh, yeah, the curved glass there is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of the key features of the King 95. They also include, you can replace this front glass with a mesh, and you can install fans on the front if you wanted to. So that is another cool feature of the case. Customization you could do. He very well could be at somewhere down the line. I mean, I'm Italian, so maybe there's some relation there. I'm Italian, German, Scottish, English. I have some Irish. I'm a big European mutt, is really what it comes down to. So I know that our family has some weird, like, distant ties to the Scots. What are they called? Anyway, it's a royal line, so I guess after like 1,000 people died, I could be in line for royalty over at Scotland somewhere, but it would have to be quite a bit. That's what my grandpa told me anyway. I don't know how true that is or how accurate it is. Oh, Zalman needs to bring back the jet engine fan look. Oh, man. Those were pretty cool. The airflow on that looks like it'll be really good. Oh, yeah, this thing is going to be Staying nice and chill. Lots of fresh air. You can always custom paint a case, Chris. You can always paint your own case. Ben, did you do the front top fan for intake? The other two exhaust? I did not. I did talk about it, though. And the fact that we have these two massive fans on the side that are blowing fresh air in, and then three massive fans on the bottom blowing fresh air in, and this is a 5060 Ti, I'm not really worried about it. There's plenty of airflow coming into this case. I could even slow down those top fans if I really wanted to. Make them spin slower. It's positive airflow anyways, yeah. One thing I learned from Gamers and Nexus, a video was on the first top fan towards the front, yes. You can flip those and have those as intake, and that will help your CPU cooler. Correct, that'll bring fresh air in. But with this particular case design, that tactic will work in a standard ATX tower. I do not like that tactic because that means these two fans are going to be pushing air down, right? Yes, the CPU fan will be taking in some, but you already have air being pushed here and pushed here, and then you have air from all three of these fans at the bottom being pushed up. So all this air is getting pushed up here anyway. These fans in the top are helping draw that air up here. So if I flip these around, now we're pushing the air that's coming in down. And then this is pushing it up. And it will kind of meet it in the middle. But I don't like that. I don't think that's a good design for the dual chamber case. I think it would have a negative impact rather than a positive impact. I could put these fans, top fans, on its own header and then slow these fans down, make it a less aggressive fan curve so that it's not pulling as much air out, but it's still doing its job. So if it was a standard ATX mid-tower case, I would totally suggest that, because you don't have the fans on the bottom, you have the fans on the front, or maybe the side, and then you have the fans on the top pushing it down versus air being pushed up and down. Thank you, Ben. Outstanding job. Good luck with the benchmarks. I just returned from Scotland. Oh, nice. And Ireland, and the most wonderful people in the world. Millions of the Irish left Ireland in the 19th, 20th century. Yes. Yeah, a lot of people left Ireland. Actually came to the United States. Why didn't they go with AIO? Just curious. I think they're fans of the air coolers, a little bit more old school. Right. Is what it comes down to it. And if I remember correctly, Ray actually specifically asked for the Peerless Assassin. So he kind of knew what he was looking for, but wanted somebody to do the build. So, but it was a while ago. The GOAT. Yeah, the Peerless Assassin is a really nice cooler. Front intake case, normal case, I would flip the first. Yes, exactly. Astral. I agree with that. Yeah, no problem, Ray. I'm glad you enjoyed the build show. We are going to get this thing wrapped up here and shipped off later this week. So you should see some tracking information at some point this week, and then it'll be on its way. And you'll have build number 2 in your hands. Don't forget, I'll text you on Discord channel. Yes. Make sure you ping me. I got some stuff I got to do right after, and then I can sit down and look at the Discord channel. But speaking of the Discord channel, if you're new to the channel and you're first time watching, and you're interested in hanging out with the community, even after we're streaming, because I don't stream 24/7, unfortunately. I do have a life. Feel free to join the Discord channel, ! Discord in the chat. Thank you, some giant idiot. And that is the link to our Discord channel, where a lot of people hang out, play some games. We talk about hardware, computer stuff. People ask questions about hardware and all sorts of things. We do our best to answer the questions, and we also do our best to help people with running into issues. But, you know, it's all free help, so just keep that in mind. Don't abuse it. We try our best. But that is the Discord channel. It's a lot of fun there. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in there. If you want to show off your build, we got a channel for that. If you want to talk about the latest news and the hardware, we have a channel for that. So feel free to join the Discord channel. It's a lot of fun there. And with that being said, that is it for me tonight and for the weekend. I am planning to be live again on Monday evening. Pending if I have Streamlab problems again. We'll be starting around 8 p.m. Monday night, Eastern time. So feel free to catch the next stream on Monday evening. And if you don't catch that one, we'll most likely have another one later in the week. But this week's might be a little bit lighter on the stream. So we might go Monday and maybe like a Thursday stream. And then maybe possibly one on the weekend. So we'll see. Are you mainly on YouTube? I'm everywhere, Astral. You're good and quick putting PCs together. Thank you. That's what I do. So, we'll see you guys on Monday night. Thanks for joining again. Have a good night, guys. See you on the next one. How about an awkward moment while I go find the button for the next scene? I gotta move it, scroll it up. It's like really far down on this list in Streamlabs, and it's like really hard to find. Have a good night, guys.